and I wonder how they're going to position early, considering that Meowington has pretty much, from draft-wise, had to change their plan, but I'm assuming their start's not going to change very much.
Yeah, there are a couple pings coming down from the side of KC Ranger, just trying to make sure that they're covering all those ramps, trying to deny all invades, and make sure that they aren't getting that level 1 fight, because I do think, in the early game especially, that Meowington's comp has a huge advantage against KC Ranger.
Hmm. Yeah, so looking like for Meowington Inc. Are they what team comp are they looking for in this? Is this, oh, there's that. I swear every game he hits that. If
Yeah,
there's at least one bomb that man hits.
yeah, the mana flow band. Got to get it stacked early. That's a huge advantage going down the ball.
He's rich, guys. 15 gold up. It's over.
15 gold and 25 mana.
Right. Every game I've seen this man play Zilean, he always hits one of those early bombs, which is amazing. So we're looking at both teams. We got both team comps coming. It's looking like Meowington Inc. is looking again. Is it looking for that mid to late game fight, considering their team comp? What do you? And then KC Rangers is looking for a little bit more of the early game, possibly.
I think that both teams are looking more towards that late game fight, especially with the Akali and the Nocturne on the side of KC Ranger. But I think that with specific champions, I do think Meowington has a slight advantage in the early game because of that Lee Sin pick having so much priority in the early game, being able to do that early clear and look for those ganks. I think it largely comes down to how late game will fall upon how much of an impact this Lee Sin can have in the early game.
It's looking like Lee Sin took the path of doing his red, blue, and then Grump, while Nocturne is finishing out his blue side here.
Yeah, and I do think with taking that path, I think that with how the lanes are positioned, Lee Sin can either look to invade the red buff of Nocturne and try to take that away from him, or he could even look for a gank on the Akali, who is very shoved up in this lane. And it looks like he is going to look for a gank on the Akali. The poison will miss. He'll ward hop and get the slow. Will miss the Q though, so nothing will come to fruition from this attempt by Lee Sin.
It was a very good attempt, but again, swing and a miss from BigKash. Again, another swing and a miss from BigKash trying to invade that red.
Yeah, the smite coming through from Nocturne was huge. I don't know if they had a ward that saw Lee Sin coming in, or if he just was smiting for health, or he just had a little bit of a hunch, but it was very smart of him to smite that buff away.
Yeah, my guess going, it just was down low enough, and he just wanted to take the smite.
Yep, and it does look like with the lanes pushing in, top lane will push in, might crash into the tower here, and bot lane is fairly even in the lane. I think that Lee Sin is going to be looking a lot towards this mid lane, trying to get those ganks off.
It's looking like the game's very back and forth. It's looking like Lee Sin might want to be looking for the double crab here. Looking for that Nocturne who's not there. Nocturne is actually still up at the Gromp at this point in time.
Yeah, that's one big thing about the Lee Sin, is he can look for those fights at the crabs early. He has so much priority in the early game with having 2 casts on each ability, and taking the Conqueror gives him a lot of trade potential. But just even getting both those crabs level 1 can be a huge buff for him. And the Bard is looking a little bit caught out here.
Oh my
I don't know if
goodness.
he'll be able to get out of this. They get the flash from Bard. He does flash away from the Lee Sin Q. They are looking on to the Senna. This is going to be a close one. If Lee Sin can land the Q, Bard should die, and it's not off cooldown. So the Bard will get out, only blowing his flash and his 80 carries heal.
Unfortunately, that flash from the Bard flashed early, and then Lee Sin threw the Q 90 degrees to the left. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, he might not have had enough time to react to the Bard flashing, and he was already trying to aim his Q, not expecting Bard to flash away.
Most likely.
But BigKash will get a little bit of advantage here, getting to invade that Gromp, and maybe even the Wolves here.
Yeah, it's looking like he's looking for those wolves, but there's Nocturne walking on in. Oh, they're leaving. Yeah, there he goes. Runs away. So apparently he got vision somehow. Oh,
Yeah,
wait a minute.
I think that Akali left to go ward the brush, and he thought that they knew he was on the wolves and they were trying to collapse on him. But it was, I think, overall the right call to fall off of those wolves, because if he does get collapsed on there, that should be an easy first blood for the side of KC Ranger.
All right, we're at 5 minutes in. We've got so far no actually first blood. A few ganks gone off. Gold wise, we're a little bit ahead. Meowington is a little bit ahead, considering CS differences, especially in that mid lane.
Yeah, and that's been a big strength for the team overall so far this season, is just building those farm leads in the lanes. It seems like around 8 minutes, they're always around like 400 to 500 gold lead just because of those farm differences in those lanes.
She went back in on that. Hold on. Girl's crazy. Went back in on that, take a tower shot. Girl's crazy. Who knew?
It looks like I did disconnect from the spectate. I am reconnecting right now, though.
Alright. Well, what you missed was the Akali did ward into the chickens of Lee Sin. Lee Sin did hit the Q in the Akali. And then Akali dashed back into tower range. Oh my goodness, that was a flash from Cassiopia trying to get onto the Akali. Akali's sitting there. Akali's sitting in a shroud trying to survive. Fortunately, Ignite did go down on Cassiopia. Oh my god, there's Lee Sin. Oh! She still died! Oh, she still died. That's first blood going onto the Lee Sin.
Yeah, the minions were enough to take down the Cassiopia, but it was huge on the rotation from Lee Sin being able to get that first blood and turn it so instead of just the Cassiopia dying, they were able to trade it 1-4.
Yeah, that was an insane fight right there. First blood going over to Meowington Inc. Unfortunately, Cassiopea still did die, but gold advantage did go to Meowington. So I think it's a good trade-off.
Yeah, and even with that death coming through, even though the Akali did die, she was able to maintain that huge farm lead that she had built for herself, being up 15 farm at this point. Even though the kill did go into Akali and she did just get the assist, the gold still should be about even in this thing.
Okay. Well, it's looking like we're scrapping top lane. That's pretty much what this top lane is right now. It's just a slap fest so far.
Yeah, the Maokai is able to out-duel the Poppy early in these lanes because of his passive, getting that constant healing down. The Poppy's damage is sticks to the Maokai's health bar a lot less, which makes her slightly disadvantaged in this early game. But as the lane does on and they start getting those items through, I think Poppy does start building an advantage in this matchup.
Alright, well, it looks like Meowington's trying to take the first dragon. Bard looked like Bard wanted to do something, but didn't really do much, so KC letting the first dragon go here.
Yeah, I think it was very smart of the Bard to not try to disrupt that, especially with being alone. I don't think that if he did go in, there would have been much going on except his death.
It looks like farm CS lead is gonna go to Nocturne in that jungle, which I'm not too surprised. Because Nocturne's farming is insane, especially with his AoE passive.
Yeah, and with him being level 6, he can start looking for those ganks, and a lot of the power of Nocturne ult doesn't come from his ability to engage on ganks, but it's the ability to take information away from the other team, where you never really know where the Nocturne is ulting unless you do have those wards on him.
Right, yeah, that Nocturne ult can be pretty insane, especially in the team environment.
Yeah, and the Nocturne does look like he's going for that Blood Razor build. I'm not a huge fan of looking for that build with the Hail of Blades because of the burstiness that Hail of Blades gives you. I do think you should be looking more for that one-shot potential over the team fight sustained damage build.
Looks like there's been a lot of scrapping in this lane.
And the Akali is looking onto this Cassio. I don't know how much is going to come from it because of the Cassio W, but she was looking for it.
Yeah, she's been looking at scrapping with the Cassio almost every fight now.
Yeah, that's one of the big advantages of that champ is she does have a lot of ability to just take those longer fights, and if she loses out in the fight with having the fleet footwork, she can just kind of stand back and heal up. But a lot of the time, she will win the fight and be able to even look to aggress harder for a kill.
So Nocturne was looking for an ult. He just sat here for a little bit right on top of me, Meowington ward. So they didn't really push, bot lane didn't push up at all. And Nocturne just wasted a crap ton of time just sitting there.
Yeah, that's very good on the side of Meowington, being able to get those wards and deny the gank. And Meowington has pulled off that gank with the Nocturne many times, so they know exactly what they should be looking for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one of the advantages of having a jungler who can play stuff like that Nocturne. They know exactly what type of stuff you're going to look for, especially when it comes to ganks.
Yeah, and Lee Sin is taking the Rift Herald here. While the top lane has been pushed in, with Poppy not having the TP up, they could look to take even like 4 plates off this tower and build a huge lead in the top lane.
Yeah, if they're able to get that, that's going to be insane. If no one knows, Rift Herald does do two plates of true damage. They're actually going to drop it either a little early or they did that on purpose. Because that's going to tank tower. That's going to be the flash. Oh, man.
Yeah, I think that they did just understand that they weren't going to be able to take the whole tower, so they just wanted to get it as low as possible and get as much gold in their pockets as they could right now.
Right. What that also takes advantage, though, is that if Maokai can keep the Poppy under that tower now has a crap ton of armor, so it's going to be even a lot harder to take that down with just normal autos.
Yeah, and I think they're looking to just get that little chunk here. I don't think that they think Maokai will be able to take that tower by himself, so just getting that gold now instead of later can be huge, especially with them being up like 1,500. And Akali is looking for the fight mid lane. I don't know how. Ooh, and the Bard will go down in the bot lane. I didn't see what was going on down there. And they will try to continue to aggress on the Senna. The Senna gets hit by the double bomb and steps in the trap. They might be able to kill the Senna. The Senna will go down here. That's a huge fight for the side of Meowington in the bot lane. And Lee Sin did snipe that Q on Akali. However, he did not have the energy to W forward and finish off that Q to get the kill on the Akali.
So, non-official instant replay for the Bard kill, by the way. They got Bard low enough, and Bard tried to ult himself, but the Caitlyn ult hit him too fast before the ult turned him invincible.
Oh, you hate to see that.
That's a little rough one for them.
And Meowington will be able to turn that double kill into 2 plates going into this bot lane. This Caitlyn is huge in this fight, being up 30 farm and 3 plates and 2 kills.
Right, being up so far in there, able to take that gold advantage and just keep running with it. Meowington now 2 kills up on KC Rangers.
Yeah, and the Infinity Edge coming through at about 13 minutes on the side of Caitlyn is huge. Getting that power spike as early as possible can be a huge deciding factor in this lane, and it should give them a lot more power to look for these aggressive.
Gank in the mid lane.
It will. The 3-man gank, the Cassio ult there was beautiful. Getting all 3 of them stunned up and be able to flash out of the Nocturne Fear did secure that Cassio was able to get out there. That was very well done by the side of Meowington on the mid laner's part.
We had a little scrap down in the bot lane from the Senna and Caitlyn. Senna actually winning that scrap because Senna was able to hit all of her Q heals and W stun off, or W root.
Yeah. The Q healing Senna is huge in her trade potential. Being able to give her that little burst of healing in those fights can just even win the fights, or in some situations it can save a life and turn it around to get you that kill.
Meowington looking to take their second dragon. That's going to be an Infernal Dragon, leaving the soul of Wind or Mountain. And
it looks like it will be a Wind Drake.
Wind Drake, that's going to be amazing for ults.
Yeah, a lot of high impact ultimates on this team, on both teams even. I think that both teams would be very happy to get those Cloud Drakes stacking, but it will be huge if KC Ranger can start getting control over these Drakes and have 4 Cloud Drakes late game. That would be huge for the Akali and Nocturne and Bard.
I wonder if this Lee Sin's going to get caught out here. Oh, yep. I don't think Lee Sin wins this.
Oh, and the Lee Sin will go down. A little bit greedy there on the side of Lee Sin, looking for that invade.
And it doesn't matter bot lane. That was an insane play from both of them.
Yeah, that's the power of the Infinity Edge, just being able to burst down those champions, like the squishy champions of the Senna and the Bard, and just melt the health bars. And if you're 50% health and get step in a trap, that could just mean that you die from the Q and the auto.
Alright, we got a little scrap in the mid lane.
Yeah, Akali is constantly looking for these fights. The ult coming through from Cassio will secure that kill, though. Huge ultimate from Cassio, catching Akali out of her shroud and getting that kill.
Yeah, that was insane.
And Maokai able to push up, keep this wave pushed up and secure that first tower for himself. It looks like we've got fights happening on both sides. In the bot lane, they were able to get the kill on Senna, and in the top lane, the Poppy is so low. With the TP coming in from Cassio, this could just turn into a double kill for Cassiopia.
Looks like it's only turning into one.
It looks like it will just be the Poppy that goes down, but the Bard escaping. Very low health, 30 HP on the Bard, making that escape. Being able to live with a fraction of his health bar.
Oh man, poor man got surrounded, then flash, and then insect. That's insane.
Yeah, the flash kick coming through. I don't know if it was necessary. I think you could have just kicked him and queued him, but style points, always important.
Yeah. Very important. Well, it's looking like Meowington is just running with their lead so far in the early game.
Yeah, and it looks like it will look like off of the kill bot lane, they were able to get that tower and look to even take the second tower here. And they will get that second tower, which is a huge advantage for them. Meowington is now up almost 7,000 gold in this game at 17 minutes.
This is an insane first game, but it's just, again, showing the power of Meowington being able to play what they can.
Yeah, and going into this, I think both of us were expecting this game to be a lot around BigKash making those big plays, but this has come a lot down onto the bot lane of Meowington, just getting those farm leads and just winning all those trades.
Another failed gank coming from the KC Rangers. Fortunately, Bard did have to use his ult to have him survive.
Yep, and Lee Sin was able to get that second Rift Herald in his pocket while that fight was going on. He could just go mid right now, and they could probably drop this tower just from the pressure that he's exerting by being there.
Right.
It looks like he is looking to go around on this Akali, surround her from all sides. Oh, and she's gonna go in on the Cassiopia. She will get that kill off, but the tower does fall, and now she's in a 1v1 with the Lee Sin. Oh, the Nocturne coming in. Ooh, a beautiful kick coming through by Lee Sin, getting Akali out of there, dropping the fear, and getting that kill. And then his team being there to back him up and get that kill on the Nocturne.
Who just flashed there?
That was the Senna flash. I think she was the
Senna flash heal.
Yep. This game is turning into a bloodbath. That was a 4-for-1 trade on the side for the side of Meowington. That's a huge swing for them. They were able to get 2 towers mid and a tower bot in the long trade. This game is not looking good for the side of KC Ranger, being down now 9,000 gold in this game.
It's looking like they're just kind of now just having fun with them. Tower diving the Bard and going underwards. That double root, oh my goodness.
And the double bomb coming out. That should be a Dark Harvest proc. Ooh, he got the Dark Harvest proc. He's scaling.
That's exactly why Catalyst does go the Dark Harvest proc on the Zilean for that exact purpose. Dragon is spawning.
Yeah, and Meowington is in an amazing position to immediately go on to the Drake, and KC Ranger is nowhere near to even look for the contest. So that will be sole point on the side of Meowington. A lot of them, probably a lot of gold in their pockets, want to reset here and get some big power spikes.
All right, we got Baron coming up in 2 seconds. So, how is KC gonna come back from this game? What do you think? What can KC do? I know it's gonna be very hard, but if the stars align, what can they do here?
I think KC just has to take their losses and start looking to just play for late game, look for that scale con. They do have the Senna and the Akali who both scale phenomenally in this game. And I think if both of them can get to 3-4 items, I think they can start looking to start winning these fights. And it looks like there is a fight happening in the jungle of Meowington. The Senna will go down early, and the Bard right before his ult drops, and the Nocturne gets blown up on his dive attempt. That could be the Baron for the side of Meowington, with only the Poppy and the Akali being alive. Ooh, and the Poppy will get insect, so just the Akali being alive.
Lisa just kicked the Poppy back and is like, here, you take care of this. I'm going for Akali.
Yeah, that should definitely be the Baron here. Up 11,000 gold now. I don't think that KC Ranger, with the Baron buff being online, I don't know how they stop these pushes.
I don't know either. Meowington is doing so well, capitalizing on their advantages and being able to keep just pushing these fights in the correct way possible. And KC Rangers has the Senna just throwing the ults, flashing and healing. I don't think they're. I don't think they've. I think they've given up on this game.
There have been a lot of questionable plays by players on the side of KC Ranger, especially that Senna flash ult, flash healing, throwing the ult at nobody. And it seems like they're just trying to have a little bit of fun with it, keep the mental good, so that they can try to look for a winning game too.
Yep.
I was asking if you guys saw that, because I thought I was going crazy seeing that Senna will just fire off in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, no, Senna will definitely fired off in the middle of nowhere.
She was having a little bit of a fight with the Maokai. It might have been to give herself the shield so she didn't get blown up, but it ended up being there was no one else there, so it did just look like she wasted it.
All right, what do we think this next draft is gonna be? That was insane.
Senna just went down. There was nothing she could have done. She was like butter. I think there has to be some pretty big adjustments on the side of KC Ranger. I think that leaving up the Cassio and the Lee Sin are both not very good decisions, even though they have shown prowess on that Sejuani and that Nocturne. I don't think leaving up the Lee Sin was the best choice by them.
All right, and then we also have to pay homage to that Zilean being able to ult being able to ult Toph under the tower to keep him alive, ulting the ADC to keep him Omiigiri alive too. I mean, everyone's been putting in work this game.
I think that this game just showed the prowess of Meowington being able to play their comps well and see where they have those advantages and play around them.
That's the first Poppy ult I've seen.
Tough for KC Ranger on the rest of the series.
That was the very first Poppy ult I've seen all game.
Yeah, the Poppy ult was it was a very good look, but there was a lot of split decisions on the side of KC Ranger, looking for a lot of different people. The Cassio did almost go down, but the Zilean ult was enough of a threat to not get that last hit on her. And it looks like Meowington will take game one pretty easily, up 16,000 gold. If they can carry this momentum into game two, I think there should be an easy series for them.